Okay, what about now?
Running scores on the earth. Line shot caught in center field by out number 2. That's going to bring to the plate. Catcher number 17, Kennedy Miller. In the bottom of the first, it's the top of the lineup. Now batting for the Canyon Cougars, number 10 right fielder Harley Vestal. Vestal flies out to left for out number 1. That'll bring to the plate number 8 left fielder Hannah Crow. Crow flies out to short center for out number 2. That brings to the plate 3-hole hitter, center fielder number 14, Jack Coons. Coon with a single to left and stretches it to a double. That's going to bring to the plate cleanup hitter number 5, catcher KK Cordero. Cordero flies to right.
Test 1 2 test.
Test 1 2 test. Test 1 2. Test 1 2 test 1 2. Test 1 2 test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2 test 1 2 check. So Georgetown has been able to jump out into an early 2-0 lead thanks to an abundance of wild pitching on the mound for Canyon, as the Lady Eagles currently lead the Cougars 2-0 here in the top of the second inning. This is game 2 of the 3. If Georgetown wins tonight, they will be able to move on to a third and final game tomorrow morning, but the batter going down. And with 2 down, nobody on, Isa Torres is at the plate. Two outs. Torres sending this one into center field. And it will be caught. 3 up, 3 down as the Eagles cannot add to any of the runs that they have already scored, as we have completed 1 1/2 innings. Your score, Georgetown 2, Canyon nothing here on SHN Sports. We're going to keep it here real quick. I know we had some slight audio difficulties, but we're glad that you stuck around for the ride, as there are plenty of people out having a good time. A little bit of return to normalcy, as we want to thank our sponsors over at Colleen Auto Sales for allowing this broadcast of playoff softball. I know we cover a little bit of everything here on SHN Sports, but playoff softball between the Lady Eagles and the Cougarettes for you here on YouTube. I'm glad that you can join us. I'm the Smash Justin Simmons. And as always, it's stacked to be with you, especially on a night like tonight, where the fans are in the stands. You can definitely hear the jubilation, and you can feel the tension as both of these teams can try to vie and continue their path towards a state championship. One-man band here tonight, so excuse me as we move a little slowly, as we are now in the bottom of the second, coming up for Canyon. Now, Canyon was able to take a 7-6 victory last night. Give Georgetown a lot of credit, as they were able to battle back immensely all the way to the very end, but sometimes the ball just takes some funny flies, some funny bounces. In the case for Georgetown, Sometimes it just doesn't go your team's way. Right now, it's going the way for the Eagles as they lead 2-0 here in the bottom of this second inning. As the cleanup hitter, Hannah Cole, is now up for the Cougarettes. With the sign, the swing, and the miss, and the count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the second inning for the Cougarettes on this Friday night under the lights here in Buda, Texas. Actually, the first time that I've actually been to this high school, as the ball is lined out into right field, and it's going to get past the diving right fielder. Cone will round second, as she will lead off the inning with a slide and triple. And for Canyon, if you are down 2-0, exactly the type of start that you were looking for. So with Cone on third.
Lead-off triple for Cone. That's going to bring to the plate second baseman number 15, Haley Carmona.
As Haley Carmona is seeing if she can get the RBI here with Georgetown ahead 2-0. This would be cutting into the Georgetown lead. You can see the Lady Eagles, especially on the corners, tightening up, as they are probably going to go to home plate with anything close. Here's the pitch, and the ball will be up high for ball number 1. Lady Eagles want to take some time. Coach is going to go ahead and talk with her Cougarette batter and Carmona. One ball in, no strikes. With the runner on third, Carmona swings and misses, and the count now evens up at 1 apiece. It's all about key defensive stops right now for Georgetown as they sit on an early 2-0 lead. Hit right to second. The throw home, the slide, the tag, it's going to be lost. And this will allow the runner to continue. The throw back towards second, and the tag applied late after a aggressive headfirst slide from a Carmona. And with the fielder's choice, it will be an RBI for Carmona, as it was going to be one of those boom plays at the plate. And that will cut into the Georgetown lead, as it is now the Cougarettes finally on the scoreboard with a runner on second, as Gutierrez is now at the plate with the possibility of tying up this softball game. Two to one our score, with Gutierrez stepping up to the plate. It is righty versus righty here in this at-bat. With the runner on second, Georgetown still pressing in on the corners, as the first pitch is going to be over the plate and right at the knee for strike number 1. It's a beautiful evening to be out here in the Central Texas area this evening. It is cloudy. We're getting towards that dusk portion of the early evening as we get ready for those lights to become very bright as we settle into the shadows of what should be a fantastic softball game. Count now 0-2 to Gutierrez. And this is the most difficult time of the evening for hitters, as that dusk does turn to evening. And the Eagle faithful thinking that they were going to have a strikeout. That was not the case, and the count now 1-2. It takes a little while for hitters' eyes to adjust as it starts to settle, the sun does, but it also plays a factor in the outfield, as this ball is sent foul in out of play down the right field line. And the count stays at 1-2. It's a 2-1 advantage for Georgetown as they were the benefactors of some wild pitching to start off this game. But the Cougarettes staff in the circle has settled as this is a foul tip right off of Gutierrez, and she will remain in the at-bat. Again, the count 1-2. We are here at Buda Johnson High School. As it's hit towards the hot corner, they look the runner back to second, and they will get Gutierrez, who was heading to first, for the out. And that is out number 1. Taylor Renfer is now at the plate. Prime opportunity for the Cougarettes to tie up this ball game. Runner in scoring position at second base. Renner, the first pitch to her is too low for ball number 1. This competition in the state UIL playoffs. Looking to advance, try to find a way to possibly play for a state championship. That would be legendary. Dreams were made of this stuff. And of course, with what happened last season, as COVID just ravaging the country, canceling all the spring sports, so many seniors losing out on an opportunity to finish their career on a high note. Unfortunately, that's life sometimes. It's unfair. But it's terrific to be back out here and see that there will be a conclusion by way of play this season. Right back to the circle, and throw over to first will be in time. That will move Carmona over to third base, though. I want to say this is Kenley Miser. On any account, 2 outs, runner on third. Possibility to tie up this ball game. And the first pitch, it was high, but right on that imaginary strike zone for strike number 1. Let me be the first to tell you, but I definitely won't be the last, that the traffic on I-35, obviously horrible. This is not as bad as a traffic jam, and Coach showing off that she still got the moves as she was able to get out of the way. Shows that the yoga is paying off with that flexible spine. But right now, her hitter behind in the count, 0-2 with 2 outs. This is not an opportunity in the playoffs that you can have slip through your fingertips. But she's going to be swinging at anything close. Look out for the off-speed or breaking ball. Instead, it is the fast rising heater that will get her swinging and missing. And that, well, that is your exit ramp off of the traffic jam of I-35. As Canyon does get back 1, but they strand 1, and your score now is 2-1 in favor of the Lady Eagles as we head on to the 3rd inning of play here on SHN Sports.
This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutoSales.net.
Well, this ball mishandled over at first base. Not exactly how the Cougarettes, after scoring a run to cut the lead into half, wanted to start the top of the third inning. Errors have been a factor in this contest already. This is Maddie Hartley, just a freshman, the third baseman, wearing the number 13 here for the Georgetown Lady Eagles. 1 ball, no strikes, hit right over towards the hole between first and second. It goes off of the diving second baseman's glove, and that will allow Cedar to move over to third. And don't look now, but Georgetown has runners on the corners. And nobody down. This is a prime opportunity to add to their 1-run lead. And this will bring up the hard-hitting senior, the first baseman, Olivia Prinz. We'll get to the defense of the Canyon Cougarettes here in just a moment. As I'm playing catch-up just like y'all. In the outfield, going from left to right, it's Hannah Crow, Catherine Kuhn in center, and then Harley Vestal in right field. We'll get to the infield in just a moment. The second pitch. Oh, right where it needed to be in the count now 0-2. Going from left to right in the infield, it's Andrea Gutierrez at third. Kinley Nazir as this ball sent over towards left field, backing up and near the fencing. It will be caught by Hannah Crow, but it will be a sac fly RBI for the Lady Eagles. In for Olivia Prinz. She is able to bring in the runner who tagged up over at third. And the runner from first able to move over to second. And the Eagles back out in front by 2 here in the top of the third. Like we were saying, defensively, Nazir at shortstop. Over at second is Haley Carmona, and at first base, Taylor Richter. Behind the plate, it is Kaylin Cordero. And Bella Mitchell, as this ball sent back towards us, it will go overhead and is out of play on the foul ball. In the circle is Bella Mitchell for the Kenya Cougarettes. Braylon Panil is at the plate now, the junior second baseman, with Sam Swan following up. 1 out, runner on second after the RBI sac fly by Olivia Prinz that scored Maddie Hartley. This ball carrying, adios pelota, home run! Lady Eagles, oh wait up. Wait up. It didn't count. Something about the Lady Eagles in softballs that are heading towards the fencing and not counting once again happens in this contest. So the runner goes back to second. Coach coming out to ask the blue behind the plate, hey, what's the deal? That ball looked like it carried. That ball obviously carried, but it was right on that foul line. And the foul pole here at Buda Johnson High School, the home of the Jaguars, it is, well, you know, it's about as tall as the flagpole. But I guess in this instance, with this shot as towering as it was, we were not going to get the most accurate of measurements. And that is no diss to the blue. That is just the call that was going to be made. And we did have an umpire right down the third base line as well in the field. So you have to admit, or you would have to assume rather, that they made the right call. And I will be the first to tell you, folks, I can be hard on the officials when they get it wrong, but I'm also the first one to praise them when they get it correct. The pitch is low, and that will result in ball number 2. So that whole adios pelota thing, just forget that ever happened, because they did, and it's now a 2-2 count as the batter steps back in Braylon Panhill. This time she goes opposite field. Adios pelota, otro más. The first time wasn't good enough. She says, don't worry, I know, I see what you have, I know what you need, and it's a home run over the right field opposite direction wall. And that 2-home run this time, my friends, does count. And it's now a 5-1 lead for the Lady Eagles here in the top of the third inning. The 2-run shot this time, it does count for Braylon Panhill. And so far, this second contest of the 3 that are scheduled, if we have to go that far, this one, with the season on the line, the Lady Eagles have showed up to play, as they are ahead 5-1 now after that 2-run blast. I imagine if you're a Cougarette fan out there, got to be on your edge of the seat, hoping that they can stop this rally right now. And it starts with pitching like that, as Mitchell was able to come back and get a nice pitch on Sam Swan for the initial strike. The sophomore, the center fielder, wearing the number 32, Swan, right back up the middle. It was smoked. And she will reach base safely after the base hit. 5-1 lead for the Lady Eagles. If you just tuned in with us here on SHN Sports, we want to thank you for joining the ride once again. And the hits just keep coming right now in this top of the third inning for the Georgetown Lady Eagles, as that will end the pitching day for Mitchell. And we will have a new lady in the circle. We're going to step aside, get a word from our sponsors. We suggest that you get yourself something as well.
This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutoSales.net. This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutoSales.net.
New pitcher in. It's hard to get a good look at the number. And I want to say that's Kylie Perez. But as a return, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsors over at Kylie Auto Sales. Without them, we wouldn't be able to bring to you this live coverage of this contest here in the playoffs between the Cougarettes and the Lady Eagles. Right now, I'm going to say that's Kylie Perez. I can't see too well from our vantage point as we are high in the stands here. All right. Actually, let me say this is Aaliyah Longoria for the Cougars. So Longoria now in the circle after she replaces Bella Mitchell, who gave up a 2-run blast here in this inning. In the top of the third. Oh, the off-speed pitch, and it breaks nicely for Longoria. Kennedy Miller, the sophomore catcher at the plate. Behind in this count, 1-2 with 1 out and a runner on first. The runner does go, and the chopper down. The third base line does go foul. If the Lady Eagles do hold on, there would be a third game to be played right back here at around 10 a.m. in the morning that will decide who will move on. Pitch inside. The throw back over to second will not be any threat to the Lady Eagles runner. And never mind. They're going to say that she took off early, and that will result in out number 2. So as quickly as it looked like the Lady Eagles were going to be in scoring position again, they have the runner taken out of play, and seeing if Miller can continue the rally here in the top of the third inning. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the third with a 5-1 advantage for the Lady Eagles. Caught a piece of it just to foul it back, and she'll stay alive in this at bat. Again, one of the big differences, especially at this juncture of the year, is the fact that this crowd is really behind this squad. And it might not seem like a big difference, or it might not seem like a big deal, but after the year that everybody's had, I think those little things mean a whole lot even now. Little things you take for granted, like being at a sporting event. Count now 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Nobody on for the Lady Eagles. Here in the top of the third. And another foul ball down the third base line. Three and 2 with 2 away. Cougarettes seeing if they can somehow find a way to get out of this inning. They only need this one out, and she'll lose her. Miller able to continue the battle and eventually wins it as she moves on over to first. We will have a pinch runner for the Lady Eagles. It'll be Savannah Ransom. And at the plate is Hannah Blinko, the designated player, the senior, seeing if she can keep the inning continued for this Lady Eagles squad. Georgetown does lead 5-1. 2 scored in the first, 3 in this inning here in the top of the third. As the Cougarettes were able to score 1 run back, but did strand a runner at third back in the bottom of the second inning. I want to thank you again for joining us this evening from Buda Johnson High School, the home of the Jaguars, just south of the capital city of Austin, Texas. This is about the midway point for both of these teams. The 1-0 hit hard into the air, and this ball continues to stay in there in the atmosphere, and then running on in and making a nice catch on the concentration. That will end the top of the third with the catch over by Hannah Crow. But it was a 2-run shot by Olivia Prinz, or actually make that Braylee Panel, as Panel was able to increase the advantage 5-1 with that 2-run blast here in the third. Georgetown scores 3, and they lead 5-1.
This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutoSales.net.
Bottom of the third, back to the top of the lineup, right fielder number 10, Harley Vestal.
Back to the top of the hitting card for the Cougarettes. As we'll bring you back to the live broadcast, we want to thank you again for joining us here from Buda Johnson High School, as Harley Vestal, the freshman, is leading off the bottom of the third inning. In case you just joined us, the Georgetown Lady Eagles able to get out to an early 2-0 advantage thanks to some wild pitching and some errors that allowed their base runners to get on safely and then advance on some errors and some wild pitches. Georgetown was unable to add any runs in the top of the second, took the 2-0 lead into the bottom of the second, only for the Cougarettes to pull back their lone run, but stranding the runner on the bottom of the third, or stranding the runner at third base in the bottom of the second. And they cut the lead in half 2-1. But if in case you just missed it moments ago, in the top of the third inning, the Cougars, or rather Cougarettes, giving up 1 run and then a 2-run blast to Pinnell, who is able to make it 5-1. Cougarettes can end this series with a win tonight. Georgetown playing to live another day, so to speak, as they are trying to extend the series to a Game 3 tomorrow morning. Vestal contemplating life here for a little while as she steps out and steps back in. Now we're ready to go. The 3-1 off speed gets her swinging and missing, making it 3-2. You hear this Georgetown crowd. They are lively. And I could just see the excitement on the fans' faces as they were happy to be out here live for this contest. The Cougarettes and the Lady Eagles both dressed in black, so making things a little difficult to decipher if you're just tuning in. The big difference is the Lady Eagles wearing the royal blue pants. Both teams, though, going with a more traditional stirrup look. With the Lady Eagles wearing the black stirrup with the white sanitary sock underneath. Well, the count now full here with the leadoff hitter, and it's popped up, and it won't have the distance. Calling everyone off, and this catch will be made for out number 1 by Isa Torres.
Vestal pops up for out number 1. That'll bring to the plate. 2-0 hitter, number 8, left fielder, Hannah Crow.
Hannah Crow. Crow missing there for the initial strike on the foul ball. The 0-1, and she slices it foul, making it 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, no one on, and this pitch outside. First ball of the at-bat, 1-2. Good solid contact, and this ball will drop in for the single for Hannah Crow. And with 1 down, this will give the Cougarettes their first base runner of the bottom of the third as they are down 5-1. This is the heart of the lineup for the Cougarettes, so exactly where they would want to be given the circumstances. I don't think any team ever wants to be behind by 4 runs, but if you have to be, these are the hitters that you want up. Kat Kuhn, the center fielder, going to try her hand at the plate to go against Cambry Krieger. Defensively, for Georgetown, it does look like this, and I'll tell you all about it right after this pitch. Solid contact as the right fielder was playing in, and it will go overhead. Now it's a foot race on the base pass as the runner had to hold up, and the throw is going to be cut off as she thought that it was going to bounce off of the ball, and she gets hit about chest high as the tag was applied around the neck area. But she thought that the defense wasn't there. Good fundamental defense by the Lady Eagles to cut off the missed throw. And I'm not sure if the coach at third base was aware of the situation either. But that throw overhead, 99 times out of 100, you think, hey, it's an error. It is time to go home. But that wasn't the case. It was cut off. It was good preparation by the defense as it was cut off, and then the throw home and the tag applied. They called an out. Now, what had happened at the play at the plate, it was an aggressive tag in the sense where the player was walking in, but it's no different than walking into an electric pole or walking on top of a rake and then it smacks you on top of the face, Sideshow Bob style. It was unexpected, and that is why, at least from our vantage point, it looked like she fell down. So the call does stand that it's out number 2 in what looked to have been a possible run here in the bottom of the third. Ends up with just having a runner at second instead of having runners both in scoring position with only 1 away. Despite the defensive throwing error, the defensive makeup ability was there on the backup play. That's why it's so important to cover if there's any youngsters watching this contest who are studying the game, maybe watching some friends and family here tonight. But, hey, you always have to be covering because you just never know when the ball's going to be overthrown, underthrow, get past the person it was intended for, and then you can make the play like we just witnessed here. This ball sent down the right field line as it goes fouling out of play. And Krieger might be able to get out of this inning unscathed. Do have a runner at second base for the Cougarettes. And it counts 0-2. Krieger looking for the money pitch. And she gets a chopper over to Torres. The backhanded stab, the throw across the diamond will be on time. And that is out number 3. 1 runner left stranded for the Cougarettes after a terrific hit They try to see if they can pull one back, but the throw on the defensive end made on the way home. And after 3 innings of play, the Lady Eagles lead 5-1 here on SHN Sports.
This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutosales.net.
Now batting for Georgetown in the top of the fourth, number 27 left fielder Rainey Coons.
Good pitch, making it 0-2. Oh, got her swinging and missing. A good pitch from Longoria here in the top of the 4th inning, as that's out number 1 for the Lady Eagles. Isa Torres, one of the few left-handed bats in the lineup for the Lady Eagles. She is the leadoff hitter, so 3rd time around here in this game for Isa Torres at the plate for the shortstop. First time, though, she faces Longoria, as Longoria was brought in to relieve Bella Mitchell after she gave the 2-run home run in the top of the 3rd inning. Is Alia Longoria in the circle. The 1-0 off-speed pitch and made her look foolish. As you see, the armband came off with that tenacious swing for strike number 1. But the atmosphere here tonight, it is just on another level. Plenty of red, plenty of blue in the stands here at Buda Johnson High School. Count 2-1. This ball smashed right in between first and second, as this will get a runner on first for the Lady Eagles here in the top of the 4th inning. We're about at that unofficial midway point of this game, as Isa Torres is now at first. Jordan Cedar as Jordan Creeder, the freshman, taking her time as she gets ready to step in. Maddie Hartley on deck for the Lady Eagles. The bunt put down, but it goes foul, and it ends up just being strike number 1. Longoria, taking her time, now likes her sign, will deliver, and the pitch perfectly placed, but no call there. You can see the catcher, and I don't blame her. Hey, you got to speak up for your pitcher. It looked like she held the bunt. They're going to go check down the line. Umpire takes a while to think about it. He says, no, she didn't go, and that is how it will go. So the count now 1-1, one's all around. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner on first. The bunt, this time connection had been made, but it goes foul. The runner will go. The throw to second won't be in time as Isa Torres is able to swipe second. This will give the Lady Eagles a runner in scoring position as it is 5-1 right now. Right now, 2-1, off-speed pitch from Longoria. Nasty stuff there as she gets the swing and the miss that she was looking for. And when Longoria seems to get in the groove, she is tough to hit. As despite the runner and Torres getting the stolen base, good concentration to get Creeder to strike out. As Maddie Hartley is now at the plate for the Lady Eagles here in the top of the 4th inning. If you just joined us, it is now 2 away as Lady Eagles are defending a 5-1 lead that they have put together over the last 3 innings. 2 in the first, 3 in the third. And the elementary level mathematics will tell you it's a 5 runs scored. 1 run scored in the bottom of the second by the Cougarettes, and our score line reads 5-1 in favor of Georgetown. It's a soft hopper that dies down in the dirt. The barehanded pickup, and the throw is not in time as that is an infield single, and it will result in a run coming in after the ball was dropped over at first. Now, I would have to check with the official score to see how that would be scored, just in case you're trying to do so at home. But it seems that that would just be a run scored on the fielder's choice more than anything else. But the ball put in play by Maddie Hartley, and sometimes that's all you need. That was unfortunate for the Cougarettes as it was a ball with a trajectory that took an odd drop and then it took an odd die on the bounce. Give credit to the left side of the infield as it was picked up barehanded and then thrown to first. Had the catch been made, it should have resulted possibly in an out over at first. It really was going to be 50-50. But that probably would have kept the run from scoring, as that more than likely would have held the runner over at third. But under any account, the run does score, and Georgetown enjoying a 5-run advantage. But as we saw last night, no lead is really truly safe. Will that storyline change this evening? Right now, Georgetown thinking that they can possibly, if they can score 5 more runs, I was going to say 6, but I will be the first to tell you mathematics is not exactly my strong suit. But 5 more runs would put them ahead by 10, and that would end this game a little early. Get everybody rested up, and then back here early in the morning for a final do or die game 3, win or go home. The type of games that you love and the type of games that you hate. Because nobody wants to see anybody have to go home after such a hard season, but the truth of the matter is that we got to have a champion, and you got to move on. We got to find a winner. The count now 2-1 with 2 outs and a runner on first for the Lady Eagles here on SHN Sports. And Longoria missing with that pitch, make it 3-1. You have to wonder how many more arms are available. For the coaching staff of the Cougarettes. Big moment here, full count. Got her swinging. That's lights out stuff inside the pitcher circle. And with the runner stranded, that's exactly what all you could ask for the Cougarettes pitching staff, as Longoria gets the out there thanks to some wonderful pitching in the circle. That will take us through a complete 3.5 innings as we move to the bottom of the 4th. But for the Cougarettes, the innings are starting to wind down. The chances are going to start becoming fewer, and they are behind by 5, 6-1. We'll see how it plays out as we get ready to start the bottom of the 4th after this break here on SHN Sports.
This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutoSales.net.
Well, welcome back. Bottom of the 4th inning here on SHN Sports as the Cougarettes are at the plate. Breaking ball leads to the swing and the miss to start things off here against these Cougar hitters. It's Hannah Combs leading off for the Cougarettes as the count now 1-1. As Cambry Krieger remains in the circle for the Lady Eagles. I'm telling you, folks, these softball fans on another level. It does give me those baseball in Japan, South Korea, Dominican Republic vibes. Loud, festive, exactly how the game should be played. The 2-1 pitch. Oh, she jammed her inside, and she gets the call. That was a good pitch there. Hey. I'm just in the middle of this one, y'all. But that was a great pitch. The 2-2. She tried to jam her again. getting gutsy with the pitch and just misses the strike zone inside. Count now full at 3-2. The off-speed pitch gets her out in front, swinging and missing. Out number 1. That was a good at-bat for Krieger, as she had almost lost the hitter, but stuck with it, blew a couple of pitches right by her, and then changed the tempo on her to get her swinging out in front. One down as Haley Carmona is at the plate. The sophomore taking the first pitch, and it goes out of the glove. Sometimes you have to wonder if that one was caught. Is it called a strike? In this case, it looks like it will be nothing more than ball number 1. One ball and one strike. One away in the bottom of the 4th inning. After the strikeout. And it's now 1-2 after the miss. The 1-2. Try to get her chasing the high stuff to no avail. Count 2-2. One of the big things tomorrow is just going to be the weather. Solid contact made as it's heading toward the alley, but underneath it and making the grab out in left center was Rainey Kunz. As that is out number 2. And the Cougarettes struggling at the plate in this contest as 2 down, no one on will bring up Andrea Gutierrez, as Gutierrez will take the first pitch right on the outside corner for strike number 1. Good pitch for Krieger. Well, Krieger misses there, but she's been hitting her spots in the last couple of innings. As if you just joined us, the Cougarettes are down 6-1, as the Lady Eagles were the benefactors of a couple of mishaps early on in this game to jump out to a 2-0 lead. It was just a series of blunders and wild pitches that allowed them to get out in front. However, after that, it was all Georgetown bats that allowed them to amass the additional 4 runs to take this 6-1 lead. The count now 3-1. As Andrea Gutierrez is ahead in the at-bat. And now the count full. Nobody on. 2 outs. As Gutierrez trying to extend the bottom of the 4th. And again, if the Cougarettes lose tonight, we will go to a deciding Game 3 early in the morning tomorrow. Hit right to Torres and short. Up with it in the throw to first in time for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 4th as we move on to the 5th. We are past the midway point in this 7-inning contest as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Lady Eagles have a 5-run advantage. And they're looking to add as we come back after the break here on SHN Sports.
This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at KilleenAutoSales.net. This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Killeen Auto Sales. Killeen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks.
Braylon Pano. If you're a Cougarette fan, not the person you want to see at the plate, leading off for the Lady Eagles, as she had that monstrous two-run shot over the right center field, or actually over the right field wall, back in the top of the third inning. And what's funny about that is before that pitch, she had pulled one down the left field line that looked to have cleared the wall, but hit right in the back. Hopefully, it looked like it was just maybe the back of the heel of the shoe. But a hit by pitch results in a walk, or at least a stroll down first base, rather, giving the Lady Eagles their first runner of the top of the fifth. So there will be no repeat of the home run, but that will give Georgetown their first runner on, as Sam Swan, the sophomore center fielder, is now at the plate. The Georgetown Eagle fans very rowdy. Swan uppercutting this ball into center field, and it will be caught for out number one by Catherine Kuhn. The runner will return back to first with one down. Georgetown leads 6-1. 2 runs scored in the top of the first inning. Cougarettes get one back in the bottom of the second. Georgetown scores 1 in the top of the third, and then get the 2-run home run to make it a total of 3, and then scored a run in the top of the fourth to make it 6-1. Cougarettes did leave a runner stranded in the bottom of the second, as they had a bit of a rally going, and then they had a runner that they were trying to wave around third to score, as she was tagged out at home off of what turned out to be a great defensive play after a defensive mishap from the Lady Eagles, as the throw from center field missed the third baseman, but the left fielder was there, or at least I assume it was the left fielder. Somebody was there on the backup to make the grab and then throw it back over to home to make the tag to keep the game at what was then 4-1 or 5-1 at the time. It's a soft liner out into shallow left field that will result in the base hit for Kennedy Miller. And now Hannah Blinko with runners on, seeing if she can increase this Lady Eagles lead. Ransom coming back in to pinch run for the catcher and Kennedy Miller, and that will allow Miller to get ready to go back behind the plate to catch. She will get the shin guards and the rest of the attire on. Blinko, the senior, 1 of 2 in the starting lineup today. And she got out in front of that first pitch, and she fouls it for strike number 1. The 0-1 check swing made contact, and that will make it 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on first for the Lady Eagles. You're in the top of the 5th. 6-1 lead for the Lady Eagles, as they are looking to add to that, if possible. And Longoria is going to take plenty of time before she takes the rubber. Now set. Here's the throw. And the foul ball, tailing foul right, and it will die out right in front of the Cougarette dugout. The wild pitch will allow both runners to advance the base, so now both in scoring position for the Lady Eagles. Got her swinging. Big pitch from Longoria to come back and get the strikeout after giving up the wild pitch. And that is 2 down as Blinko unable to connect there. As Rainey Coons seeing if she can get an RBI here. It's popped up and it won't clear the infield, and that will do it here for the top of the 5th. 2 runners left stranded as Coons was unable to generate enough power on that last hit. Our score 6-1 as we get set to go to the bottom of the 5th. Lady Eagles lead by 5 here from Buda, Texas.
This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutosales.net.
I want to say it's Savannah Ransom now in the circle for Georgetown here in the bottom of the 5th inning as they lead 6-1. As the first pitch is sent down foul. And I'll take that back. The pitcher actually Hannah Blinko, who was in as the designated player. the designated hitter, more or less, if you will, if you're not familiar with the softball terms, although I'm sure that many of you are at this juncture if you've been following the game for any allotment of time. But she is now in the circle, is Hannah Blinko. Out in front, 0-1, after the foul ball tipped off to the right-hand side. Hit right back up the middle, and exactly what the Cougarettes needed. As Taylor Richter gets things started with the leadoff single. And that will give the Cougarettes a base runner here in the bottom of the 5th as they are down by 5.
Richter with the single, and that's going to bring to the plate now shortstop number 20, Kinley Nizer.
Now the opposing side of the Jaguar softball field is rocking here as the Cougarettes faithful trying to motivate Kinley Nizier to get a hit and keep things going in a positive direction. They're running out of innings. They are running out of outs to make a comeback here as they are down 6-1. 5-run lead for the Lady Eagles, and a power pitch there from Blinko for the strike. Again, if you just tuned in with us, first off, welcome to playoff softball, as Georgetown right now have their backs against the wall. They need a win tonight to continue this series. The Cougarettes could end everything with a win here this evening. And it's foul tipped, and just barely, as the count remains at 1-2. Now, Georgetown almost won last night. They came back in outstanding fashion, but what was a home run that would have tied the game ended up being called a ground rule double. And the runner at second was never able to be brought in to score that tying run. Lady Eagles losing in heartbreaking fashion. Softly down the first base line. The tag applied at the bag over at first for the out, but that will allow the runner to move from first to second to find themselves in scoring position.
Number 10, right fielder, Harley Vestal.
So Harley Vestal, just a freshman. You would think that she will have plenty of opportunities to play in games of this magnitude, but to get things started in your career on a positive note is getting some of that valuable big game experience as a freshman here tonight. Cougarettes not where they want to be, but not in the worst place possible. That is for sure. One out, runner on second. Down by 5. If they can get one back, that puts them only down by 4. But you got to make contact with the pitching from Blinko first. Blinko taking her time until she gets set. Here's the delivery. A chopper that stays fair as it dies out on the dirt. The throw over to third, not in time as the head first slide will beat the throw. It results in an infield single, and there's runners on the corners for the Cougarettes. And you know there's going to be plenty of deliberation to be had given the circumstances. The Lady Eagles lead 6-1. However, Cougarettes now have runners on the corners with only one away. A solid hit might be able to bring in 2 of those runs, and this game could be sitting at half the score line. But that is all theoretical. I guess it doesn't really mean anything until it actually happens. But since it is Hall of Fame weekend in the Basketball Hall of Fame, I believe it was Kevin Garnett that said that anything is possible when he won his NBA championship with the Boston Celtics. In fact, I believe Adidas made a whole marketing campaign off of that, from what I recall. But I'm sure many of you out there have better memory about sports marketing campaigns than I do. And right now for the Cougarettes, it's about making the campaign to get back into this game. Solid opportunity on hand here. 1 out, runners on the corners. The pitch from Blinko, the bunt put down the third baseline as it bounces foul for strike number 1. Hannah Crow is at the plate. Is Vestal over at first base with Taylor Richter over at third. It looks like Blinko is now ready as she got her sign a little late. The 0-1. The pitch is high and dropped. It is a stolen base for Vestal as she is now over at second. Both runners in scoring position for Canyon, and the situation can't get much better for the Cougarettes. I'll take that back. It could. It could be a base hit that goes all the way to the wall that would bring in both. That's exactly what you have to be thinking at the plate if you're Hannah Crow. Good eye by Crow as she lets this ball go. And the count now 2-1. Cougarettes are making tons of noise, are the fans, but the bunt missed. As she looked like to have reached for it. I'm waiting to see what the ref says. They're going to check down the third baseline. They're going to say no. I thought she went for it. The ladies Eagles fans not happy with the call as the umpire said no, she didn't go. And instead of being 2 strikes, the count now 3 balls, 1 strike with runners on third and on second. This could load the bases with the pitch being a ball. And now the count will be 3-2 as it was fouled off. Three balls and 2 strikes. As both runners are in scoring position for the Cougarettes here. Bottom of the 5th inning. Blinko kicking the dirt off of the rubber as she gets set. This is big time stuff right here. The 3-2. Oh, she misses. Lady Eagles thought that was a good pitch. The blue behind the plate disagrees. Taking a stroll down to first. Loads the bases with only 1 away. A grand slam would make it 6-5. As our current score 6-1, but it looks like Blinko has seen the end of this game as coach is coming out to have a word. Will she let Blinko, the senior, finish what she has started in this inning as we are in the bottom of the 5th here in Buda, Texas? This game started at 7:30. We're almost 2 hours into this contest. And we still, given the score, have 2 more innings and 2/3 left to play. But the Lady Eagles taking an extended timeout and trying to utilize as much time as possible to allow Blinko to settle back down. And I think sometimes that you think about just the game. But there are some moments where you have to remember that they are student athletes. They had tests that they had to take care of. They had homework. They couldn't just concentrate on this game. They had other things going on in their lives. To put all that aside and to concentrate when the moments are like this is what puts you at another level. Okay, you block it out when everything's on the line. First pitch, though, delivered well by Blinko after the timeout taken for strike number 1. Catherine Kuhn. She's set to go. Blinko takes a while before she releases her throws. Now she's ready. Pitch in the dirt, and then count now 1-1. A walk is just as good as a base hit for Cat Kuhn. And Kuhn smartly calling time, and I don't blame her. If you see the pitcher taking too long, take a timeout, make them reset, and see if you can get the pitch that you want. Less time taken this time, and the pitch will miss low from Blinko. Bases are loaded. There is only one out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. My apologies. I know the scoreboard was saying top. It is the bottom. But again, one man manning it here tonight for you here in Buda, Texas. Sends it foul. And count 2-2. They have that extended overhead netting behind home plate here, so even I'm underneath it. I'm not worried about any foul balls coming towards me. And the fans don't have to worry about any hitting them either. It's a really nice setup, honestly. The 2-2. Misses high, and the count now full at 3-2. My, oh my, oh my. You want to talk about pressure. You want to talk about tension. You want to say you had a stressful day. I guarantee you it doesn't get much more stressful than the person that's in the circle and the person that is at the plate. Full count here with 1 away and the bases are loaded. And the Cougarettes are behind 6-1. Blinko. Ready to go. Jammed her. Backwards K in the scorebook. And that was a huge strikeout for Blinko and the Lady Eagles. 2 away with the bases still jammed. But that had this blue sea of Lady Eagles fans on their feet after a terrific pitch there. The bases are still loaded. And the pitch will go off of the glove. The wild pitch will result in a run coming in for the Cougarettes. They are going to say it's a pass ball as it went off the catcher's glove. But after getting the strikeout, Blinko, I would imagine it's her error as much as it would be the catcher's error in this case. And she needs to settle back in to complete the inning. 2 outs, runners on second and third after the pass ball allowed the run to score. It is now 6-2. The Lady Eagles still out in front, but now only by 4. It's a beautiful night here in the Central Texas area. Strangely enough, I'm used to doing a few Georgetown games for you, but I'm usually either on the road somewhere in the north central part of the state or in Georgetown. But for the first time, we're in Buda, Texas tonight, as that pitch is right where it needed to be for strike number 1 and the count now 2-1. But this is the first time that I have been to Johnson High School. Newly built, not too old. 2-1, fouls it off, making it 2-2. Still a high-pressure situation. 2s all around. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2-1, 2 out. Fouled it off as it ricocheted off of her, and she will stay alive in the at-bat. Cougarettes did pull one back in case you just joined us, making it 6-2. As Kaylin Cordero, is seeing if she can extend this inning with a well-placed hit. Count stays at 2-2 with the 2 down. Blinko. Here we go. Oh, and she gets hit on the hand and rightfully is upset. And you know that stings. And the hands are so fragile. You think about all the little metatarsal bones that you have there, all the phalange bones. As coach is taking a look at the hand, and hopefully she's all right. So this will load the bases. You do get a pinch runner. So the bases are now loaded, 2 down. After the hit by pitch, we will have thought maybe a pinch hitter. That doesn't seem to be the case. It's Hannah Combs who will come up to the plate. Hannah Combs represents the potential tying run. With 2 away and the bases loaded, it's a 6-2 ball game in favor of the team out in the outfield. And Combs takes a rip at the first pitch she sees, but sends it back foul for strike number 1. And now I hear this rhythmic clapping coming from the dugout of the Cougarettes as they try to inspire Combs at the plate. Again, the big deal here is that she is the potential tying run as her team, the Cougarettes, down 6-2 here on SHN Sports in the Texas UIL State Playoffs here in softball. Oh, it's a softie. Right back up the middle. The throw takes the first baseman off the bag, but she is able to step back on it just in time to get the 3rd out. And that is something that the Cougarettes are really going to remember if this game ends the way that it currently is right now. As they leave the bases loaded, they do get one run thanks to a passed ball. But when the bases were loaded, they were unable to get a hit to try to make anything happen. And after 5 complete innings, we move on to the 6th. It is a 6-2 advantage for the Lady Eagles here on SHN Sports.
And the top of the sixth is the top of the lineup. Shortstop, number 23, Isa Torres.
Isa Torres leads off for the Lady Eagles. Big thank you to all of you once again for tuning in with us here this evening on SHN Sports. I'm the Smash Justin Simmons. Great to be alongside all of y'all, no matter where you may be and no matter how you may be watching. Whether it's on your favorite streaming device, mobile phone, tablet, or you're watching on your smart television via YouTube and the YouTube app, we want to thank you again for spending a bit of your Friday night with us here in Buda, Texas this evening. If this game holds the way it is right now, we would be looking at a decisive Game 3 tomorrow morning here from Johnson High School. All for an opportunity to advance here in the UIL state playoffs. Pitch missing low and outside. I will say now that it's nightfall, there are a few more bugs flying around. I think one went into the back of my shirt, but I'll deal with that during the half inning. At least I think I will. We'll see how it goes. The 3-0 had to settle in and deliver a strike to Longoria, and it is a 3-1 count now. And it's going to be misplayed over at second, and the error will allow Torres to get the first safely. Well, Canyon is going to ruin this game, at least with the way that it's looking right now. It seems that at least the scorer here seems to have made it an infield single, saying that it was a non-routine play. And the Let's Go Eagles chants are starting to ring out. As the Cougarette faithful are looking a little down right now. And off of the bunt, it goes foul. And the count 0-1. It's a windy night here, but at least it's not cold. But I will say that we have had some, well, who am I kidding? We have had some odd weather this entire 2021, but the weather quite odd for Central Texas in the month of May. Plenty of rain, a bit of a cold front. It was cooler today than it normally is. And Swing and a miss from Longoria's pitch, and the count now 0-2. But, you know, we complain now, but give it another 4 weeks, and we'll be longing for these cooler nights where it's about 70 degrees outside. Plenty of jackets on in the crowd. The pitch is low and inside. The runner in Torres will make it to second safely as she stumbles to stay on the bag. But she remains safe in the count now 1-2. Runner now in scoring position as the Lady Eagles looking to add that run back after letting up the run to make it 6-2 just moments ago. Oh, the off-speed pitch from Longoria results in the swing and a miss. The strikeout results in the first out of the top of the 6th. As Maddie Hartley is going to try her hand at the plate. Longoria taking a while here. And it will be a soft single into right field. Torres rounds third, and she will come in to score. And it does result in an RBI. And this game back to a 5-run lead, this time 7-2, as Hartley will get credit for the RBI single. And Olivia Prinz now up with 1 out and a runner on first as the score is 7-2 for the Lady Eagles. Prinz, soft single into left, right on the line. And it's back-to-back hits for the Lady Eagles. It's the score 7-2. Panel. She has that home run power. We've seen it on display already in this game. She almost got all of it there. Well, the wind's starting to pick up. We do have time taken. Maybe wondering if Longoria's night is done, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Good pitch. Longoria bamboozled her with that pitch, and she missed out in front for the strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes, runners on second and on first for the Lady Eagles here in the top of the 6th. Had her evade the box there. high and outside. It's popped up and out of play as this inning will continue. Score 7-2. As we are about 2 hours and 10 minutes into this game now. Count full, 3-2. 1 out, 2 on. And it's fouled down the third baseline. And you can hear that wind picking up now. Good pitch from Longoria. She battled through that at bat and gets the strikeout. Second out of the inning. As Sam Swan is coming to the plate. This inning has dragged on, though, here in the top portion of the sixth. As Georgetown, and this game has really slowed down now. First pitch fouled off for strike number 1. Good pitch there from Longoria for strike number 2. Fouled off on the 0-2 pitch. Home 2, the count remains. And another foul ball. Sinai single. And they'll wave the runner around third. RBI single for Georgetown. Big hit there for Kennedy Miller, who is now coming up to the plate. Sam Swan gets credit for the RBI single. And it's now 8-2. time will be taken here in the top of the 6th inning with 2 outs. This one getting away from the Cougarettes. Now, for some reason, if the Lady Eagles are able to tack on another 4 runs, that would make it a 10-run lead and would force us into the Canyon last at-bat of this game. But that is only if there is a 10-run lead. If that is not the case, we will play the remaining 2 innings. This first pitch is swung on and fouled off for strike number 1. Runners on first and second after the score for the Lady Eagles, as they were able to get the 2-out run to score. The softball sliced down the left field line, only to go foul. It's 0-2. Fouled off once again. 0-2. Top of the 6th. Want to thank all of y'all for spending some time with us here this evening here on SHN Sports. Longoria fouled off again. So many pitches being used here by Longoria during this top of the 5th, or rather top of the 6th inning. Fouling it again, it's 0-2. And I'm wondering if the Cougarettes have kind of ceded this game to Georgetown in the sense that we have no other pitchers up that I can see warming up, maybe saving them for tomorrow. And as we would be looking at a final game 3, it's a chopper up the middle, over at second. More mistakes made. The throw back home, the pick up, the tag. They got her. Way to turn a negative into a positive, as it was the error originally at second base that had led to the extension of this inning originally. But Georgetown tacks on 2 more runs. It is 8-2 as we head on to the bottom of the 6th.
This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutosales.net.
Bottom of the 6th, now batting for the Canyon Cougarettes, number 15, pitcher Haley Carmona.
bottom of the 6th inning as Carmona leads off for the Cougarettes as they are down 8-2 now here in this second game of what is shaping up to be a 3-game series. As right now, we would be going to a decisive game 3 tomorrow morning. The check swing keeps her alive at the plate for Carmona. It's the count 0-2. We have time taken here as this game continues on. Chopper over to short. It was difficult to field, and it was a good play made by Torres as the throw to first is in time for out number 1. Andrea Gutierrez. 1 out, no one on. As Gutierrez seeing if she can somehow find the spark that will rally this Cougarette squad. Good pitch there for strike number 1. Blinko, she remains in this ball game. And right on cue, she just blows this pitch right by the would-be hitter. Blinko just missing on that 0-2 pitch. Seeing if she could have been able to get the hitter to chase to no avail. The 1-2 inside, make it 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes is the count. Staying alive. Staying alive with that at bat. That wind really starting to pick up now, but not enough to keep that ball hanging in the air. Got her swinging and gets the strikeout. 2 away. Taylor Richter with 2 outs and no one on here in the bottom of the 6th. With the score 8-2 now up for the Cougarettes. It's popped up, and it will be caught by Torres to end the 6th. Final frame coming up, 8-2. Georgetown leads. They're going to see if they can add any insurance runs coming up here on SHN Sports.
This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutosales.net. This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutosales.net. This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutosales.net.
So Hannah Blinko, who's getting it done inside the circle now, trying to get it done at the plate. The first pitch is swung on and sent foul for strike 1. It's popped up and sent into right field, and making the adjustment in the grab. We're out number 1 is the right fielder. Here in the top of the 7th and final innings here tonight, at least so far. Rainey Coons. With 1 out, no one on now up for the Lady Eagles, who lead 8-2. In case you just joined us, the Lady Eagles jumped out to an early 2-0 advantage thanks to a couple of errors committed by the Canyon pitching staff, as they were able to get around the bases once they got on because of the errors unhindered. They gave back 1 run to the Cougarettes, who made the game 2-1, entering the top of the 3rd inning. The bunt was chased after, and that will result in the strike, 0-2. In the top of the 3rd, the Cougars put on 1 run before a Pinnell 2-run home run made it 5-1. Cougars tacked on an additional run, making it 6-1 in the top of the 4th. Only for the Cougarettes to get 1 back in the bottom of the 5th. 2 more put on by the Cougars in the top of the 6th inning, and our score reads 8-2 in favor of the Lady Eagles. One, two, right back into the circle. Up with it, Longoria over to first, and that's out number 2. Well, this is exactly what Canyon needed, and that was to try to end this inning with the score as is and hope for a miracle in the possible last portion of this game to see if they can somehow come back from behind and extend it or possibly win it. So we're back to the hitting box. It is Isa Torres back at the plate. Count 1-0. Make it 2-0 to Torres. Well, she did get a piece of it, but sends it foul. It's count now 2-1. Two outs, no one on for the Lady Eagles in the top of the 7th. They lead 8-2. Looking to force a win or go home game tomorrow morning. It's pulled down the first base line, but it goes foul. The count 2-2. Well, the wind and the weather wasn't like this earlier, but it definitely has picked up as we have progressed through this contest. But the count 2-2 with 2 down, no one on. Here in the bottom of the 7th and final inning of play. As with the way that this game is going, we might finish at the 3-hour mark. Definitely a lengthy game, as it's going to be snagged at short. It is an infield single. Good defensive play, but couldn't come up with a throw. And we have a runner on first. Torres able to leg out the infield single. And Jordan Krieger now here with the at-bat. It's popped up, it's in foul territory, and it's going to clear the fencing for strike number 1. Count to Krieger 1-1. Really wishing I brought my jacket now, as it is getting a little chilly. And this pitch will miss low, making it 2-1. Popped up and sent foul off of the fencing, and the count is now 2-2. We want to thank our friends over at Kylene Auto Sales once again for allowing us to bring you these games live here on SHN Sports and free of charge to you. If you would like to sponsor a broadcast on SHN Sports, email my friend Carl with a K at SHN Sports. Oh, got her looking. That is a terrific way to get out of the top portion of the 7th. We will head on to the final portion of this game. Only 3 more outs to go to see if the Canyon Cougarettes can complete the comeback. They are down by 6.
This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutoSales.net. This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutoSales.net. This broadcast of Georgetown Lady Eagles softball was made possible by Colleen Auto Sales. Colleen Auto Sales, owned by Raylan and Jenna Kuntz, has been family owned and operated since 1984. Late model used cars and trucks, we have a little bit of everything. Look us up at ColleenAutoSales.net.
Kinley Nizer leading off the bottom of the 7th inning as the Cougarettes are down by 6 and seeing if they can find a way to possibly extend this game, because if not, we will be back here bright and early, 10 a.m. for a deciding Game 3 between these two teams. It's popped up, and not even having to move from the circle, Blinko makes the snag for out number 1. So regardless of where you have been here tonight, I want to thank you again for joining us here on SHN Sports. I'm the Smash, Justin Simmons. Glad to be with you. Should see you tomorrow for this contest, as the way that things are lining up right now with only 2 more outs to go. As Georgetown leads this game 8-2. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead after 1. Cougarettes were able to get 1 back and make it 2-1 after 2. 3 runs scored in the top of the 3rd, including a 2-run home run for the Lady Eagles. Made it 5-1. They tacked on an extra 1 run in the top of the 4th to make it 6-1, only to relinquish another run, making it 6-2 to the Cougarettes. In the 6th inning, the Lady Eagles scored 2, and the scoreline has held ever since. Strike on the swing and miss, and the count 0-2 to the hitter. Nobody on with 1 away. The 0-2 delivery, it hit the bat. It didn't hit her. And hitting the knob of the bat is the same as hitting the barrel of the bat, so it's just a foul ball. But I knew you brilliant fans out there already knew that. Already knew that. Got her swinging. That's 2 away for Blinko and the Lady Eagles. 1 more to go.
Russell strikes out for out number 2, and that brings to the plate left fielder number 8, Anna Rose.
Again, that wind picking up as there are 2 down, nobody on, as the weather originally wasn't too promising for tomorrow. We had rain slated in the forecast, but tomorrow it will be humid, low chances of precipitation, but this game, first pitch is slated for around 10 a.m. and you're looking at a humidity of 77% with a 9-mile-per-hour wind, and it will be cloudy and overcast tomorrow. Anything can happen on a gray day during a softball game. The count 1-1 with 2 outs and no one on for the Canyon Cougarettes. This is about a good midway point as of any between Georgetown and New Braunfels. It's been a while since I've been to Schlitterbahn. I think it's been a while for a lot of people that have been anywhere, I guess. 2-1 with 2 away. And here's a chopper towards second. The pickup and the throw. They got her, and that will end this ball game. It's an 8-2 victory for the Lady Eagles. And we will come back for a decisive Game 3 tomorrow morning here from Buda, Texas. Final score 8-2. Lady Eagles win this one for, well, I was going to say everybody involved in this broadcast, which was myself. So your producer, everybody, I took care of all that for you. Big thanks to everyone over at SHN Sports, and of course, a huge thanks to all of y'all for stopping on by this Friday night. Your final score one more time. Georgetown takes this one to force a decisive Game 3 tomorrow morning here from Buda, Texas. Your final score once again, Lady Eagles 8, Cougarettes 2. We'll see you tomorrow here on SHN Sports. This has been Justin the Smash Simmons for y'all, signing off from Buda, Texas.